I believe for the rest of my life I'll be doing the Lord's work. I'm going to make sure no black person is a Democrat ever again. I hope you got enough common sense and critical thinking to understand what's going on right now. I'm about to give you all the facts. Every day I think I'm going to come on here and tell you what these clowns have done to you. Can you just notice that they never got a solution for you and they always calling you a victim?
Yes, the other day we talked about Michelle Obama on this channel. I think I put out 2 videos concerning her. There is something more concerning this guy you saw at the beginning of this video. Took his time and put out a 3-minute video talking about Obama and why he left the Democrat Party. Like, that is not enough. Another lady came out and she was very sincere on this clip. When I look at it, comparing to what we are witnessing today, it clearly tells me a lot of people are dumb. They don't understand the mission these people have. It is more important we take an exclusive look into all this. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please never should do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video.
I believe for the rest of my life I'll be doing the Lord's work. I'm going to make sure no black person is a Democrat ever again. I hope you got enough common sense and critical thinking to understand what's going on right now. I'm about to give you all the facts. Every day I think I'm going to come on here and tell you what these clowns have done to you. Can you just notice that they never got a solution for you and they always calling you a victim? That's number one. You always need Medicaid. You always need food stamps. You always need government assistance. Why? Why you can't need a job? Why you can't need an education? Why you can't need a better job? Why you can't need a house? Why you can't need a better car? Why you can't need better things than government assistance? Lyndon Johnson said he gonna have voting for Democrats for the next 200 years because that's how goofy you is. They filibustered the Civil Rights Act. It was the last record they had in Congress. They took men out of your homes. They would rather than be homosexual than to be a man in a home raising a family. Do y'all not see this? They claim to be Christians but do everything against God. Are y'all Christians? I do not understand what's happening. Do you believe God's word or do you make it fit to your lifestyle? I do not understand what's going on. Was the dashikis not enough? When they walk their ass out there with dashikis on and your ass ain't never... You ain't never been to Africa. But they thought the dashiki was unity for you. They play in your damn face. They play in your face and you let them do it. You let them work up your emotions. You let them build fear. What happened to us being slaves now? We supposed to be slaves 6 months into the Trump presidency and all locked up in concentration camps.
Yes, there is something more interesting about this video. When these people continue to put you to depend on the system, they will continue to use you. This has been happening for a very long time. Because they understand that
200 years
if
now.
we continue to give you this, do this, you'll be depending on the system. Whatever thing we say, you follow. Why can't you get something for yourself? Start doing something. Get a job. Immediately you will realize that it is now more important for you to look at right and wrong, who is doing more things for people to be themselves than depending on others. You will see things rightly, and this has been a problem with the black community, and I'm glad that people like this, they are waking up, they are seeing the truth with what is going on. This guy actually had a different experience with the Obama administration. Immediately, he changed his party.
I walked away from the Democratic Party back in 2014. A big reason I walked away from that party was Obama and Obamacare. Okay, I was able to see the so-called great economy that he had. See, in 2014, I was just getting out of college, kind of telling y'all my age. I was able to get a pretty decent job that afforded me my first car, my first condo. I was able to live on my own and do pretty good. If if you're familiar with San Diego, you know a lot of people cannot afford to live by themselves. You have people that's 20, 30, even 40 years old living with roommates, barely getting by, y'all. They refuse to leave California. 2014, Obamacare officially hit. Okay? A lot of people that had insurance already, premiums just skyrocketed. Doubled, some people's even tripled the price. And if you were like me at the time and you had health care through your job, a lot of those companies did not want to pay the just sudden uptick in costs. So what did they do? They went the legal route, and you do not have to pay health care for part-time workers. So they moved a lot of people from full-time to part-time. My hours went from 40 hours a week to 24 hours a week, y'all. I went from doing really well to barely getting by. And the only reason I got by was because I had to pick up another job. I was working in the daytime and working graveyard. I was down there as a young man trying to hustle. So, they was telling us that the Obama economy was doing so well, but what they was tricking us doing, they was counting job numbers because many like myself had to go get a second. Meantime, people was getting 3 jobs, y'all. 3. So Obamacare, yes, it may have given health care to some people, but it took health care away from a lot of people that already had it. And if they didn't take it away, the prices were just ridiculous. And let's not forget, the people that did stop paying their health care, if they didn't have it, we got a fine during tax season. I got fined 2 years in a row for not having health care, y'all. So please tell me how Obama's economy was so good. It hurt so many people, and it hurt me definitely. And I'll never forget it. And after that moment, I started doing all of my own research into the Democratic Party and doing history on them. And I just see how they've been destroying things since forever. But if you remember that, let me know how much y'all premiums were before Obamacare, and let me know how much it was after. Because I know I wasn't the only one. See y'all later.
That most people voted the wrong way because they were uneducated, and that's not to call them dumb, but literally life sometimes is life, and you're trying to keep a roof over your head, keep food on the table, trying to make sure that your kids have what they need, and so you're not tuned in to the endless news cycle, or you don't know what the truth is. Y'all need to connect the dots. You need to tell them if they're losing out on their $6 a day in SNAP benefits, it's because of the people in power. If they're about to lose their Medicaid, which may be called something else in the state of Georgia, y'all need to learn the Georgia name for it and say you about to lose it because of them. If you've got somebody who's got a high-risk pregnancy right now and they're saying, I got to leave the state because I may end up, because we saw what happened to that young lady that they decided that...
Yes, you can see how people are actually understanding, comparing what is going on currently with what they saw with Biden and Obama. This guy changed his mind and left the Democratic Party because of what he witnessed. Comparing that to now, there is a great change. According to him, I went through his TikTok videos to see what he actually put out on a daily basis. This is just me replying to some of these people by telling them, oh, they voted because they are dumb. Yeah, they didn't understand why they are voting for Trump. Calling Trump supporters all sort of names. That has been a thing she has been doing for some time now. When I see it, I ignore because she's a ghetto Democrat. That is how I always tell her every single time when I put out videos concerning her. These people are wise. Black people, for a very long time, they have been played by the Democrat Party in a way that is... Let me not even mention it here on this video. I didn't want to go along with this video. I always like to put it short like this so you can easily get it. I want to appreciate you for supporting me, sharing out my videos. If you see short clips after this, that is for the YouTube algorithm. Please, I'm begging you, share the video.
No. Decided that they want to go after.
I think that my heart is going to carry
a level of weight.
Position.
Left.
Situation where this line up for my advice. It's like, why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize?
Why? Marriage, infertility, trying to have kids makes things difficult. It's like
She's seriously depressed about how hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
What?
100.
has been overwhelming. The lies in their amplification.
this is not going to end.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
If there's no self-defense, the kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case, but it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything. And then the
Registration Act is
Talking about term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Winter does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to...
We have so many.
So, the president signed an executive order just this week threatening to defund sanctuary cities for their policies. Why not just arrest the leaders who are harboring and shielding illegal aliens, actually terrorists, from deportation?
Let's see what's coming.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton, and of course it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this content. Now, y'all, if you remember your girl, Judge Dugan from the state of Wisconsin, who has been accused of helping a person in the country without permission, actually a person who facing deportation, helping him escape from her courtroom, and she was subsequently arrested. Well, now she's in the legal process, y'all, and it looks like she is trying to claim immunity. Essentially, she's saying that because she's a judge, whatever she does in the courtroom, she's above the law, y'all. Now, you know, I'm putting my little spin on that, but that's essentially what she's claiming. And now it's going to fall on other judges to decide if Dugan has immunity when she makes these sorts of decisions and actions in her courtroom. Now, this is huge, because if it turns out that Dugan has immunity, then other judges might have immunity, and then you have to ask, well, how far does that immunity extend, right? So this is a huge thing, and we're about to jump right into a more detailed analysis of this so you can really understand these are huge stakes. So let's go ahead and jump into it. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not going to make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement.
Protesters gathering on the steps of the federal courthouse today in support of Judge Hannah Dugan's court case. Dugan arrested back in April over her alleged effort to help an undocumented immigrant in her courtroom. Chief political reporter Charles Benson on why Dugan's defense team is pushing for dismissal, while prosecutors say no one is above the law.
A bit of a setback this week for Judge Dugan's efforts to get her case dismissed, but a show of support on these steps as her case makes its way through the federal courthouse.
We must stand with Judge Dugan because her fight is our fight.
Several dozen supporters, including local faith leaders, rallied with signs and chants for what they see as an injustice in Judge Dugan's case and their growing concern with arrests by ICE agents.
We offer our prayers for fairness, for truth to prevail.
Judge Dugan was arrested in April and later federally charged with allegedly trying to help an undocumented immigrant in her Milwaukee courtroom evade arrest by ICE agents. Eduardo Flores Ruiz was shortly taken into custody outside the courthouse. Dugan's defense team wants the case dismissed, claiming judicial immunity.
What is unusual about this prosecution is the prosecution itself, that the government is interfering with the judiciary. The judiciary is the check and the balance on the executive branch.
Prosecutors argue, quote, Dugan's desired ruling would in essence say that judges are above the law. A federal magistrate judge who reviewed the motion to dismiss recommended the case move forward, writing, judges have absolute immunity from civil lawsuits for monetary damages when engaging in judicial acts. This, however, is not a civil case. A final decision on the motion to dismiss rests with Judge Lynn Edelman, likely in August. The big unknown right now is that motion to dismiss and if there will be a lengthy appeal process. For now, Judge Dugan remains suspended from her judicial responsibilities with pay.
Now, I want to remind you that the person that Judge Dugan helped escape, that she allegedly helped escape from her courtroom, he's copping a plea. So he's going to be going to prison for a little while, and then he's going to get deported. So in our last video, if you remember, it was like she went all in for him, and he said he left her hanging because essentially, what if they call him to testify against her? I mean, he could very well be a witness against Judge Dugan, I imagine. You know, they could subpoena him, couldn't they? And have him come in and then testify against her when she supposedly was trying to help him get away. So this is just kind of a whole mess, y'all. So in case you didn't see this, or in case you forgot, let's take a look at how the person that Dugan allegedly helped get away actually, in my opinion, copped a plea, said, hey man, I'm going to go to jail for a little while, I'm going to go to prison for a little while, and then y'all can just go ahead and deport me. But again, who knows? He might be a star witness against her because he was there, wasn't he? Let's take a look.
Friday, Eduardo Flores Ruiz signed this plea deal agreeing to deportation after serving prison time for returning to the country illegally. Records show he came into the U.S. illegally January 15, 2013 in Arizona and was deported the following day. He did not show up on the federal radar until this past March when Milwaukee police arrested him in a domestic violence case in a dispute with his roommates. His fingerprints set off an alert in a federal database from his previous deportation. ICE officials signed a federal arrest warrant April 17th. An agent showed up to Milwaukee County Courthouse the following day. That is where Judge Hannah Dugan is accused of directing Flores Ruiz and his lawyer to a side door to a public hallway where records show he got on the elevator. He and his lawyer then leave the courthouse with an ICE agent following them. Records show the ICE agent followed Flores Ruiz outside where he's accused of leading agents on a brief foot chase. Agents captured him a short distance later. Judge Dugan now herself facing federal obstruction charges, accused of helping him evade ICE agents. The maximum prison sentence for Flores Ruiz in his immigration case is 2 years. He's agreeing to deportation after serving that sentence. It's unclear when he will learn that sentence. He is due back in court, in federal court, August 4th.
So as of right now, we're just waiting to see what the actual judge who has this case will say. Will the judge rule that Dugan has some kind of immunity or not? I'm going to go ahead and give my prognostication. And y'all know I throw in a big word every now and then, just to tease y'all. So this is my prognostication, y'all. I believe that Judge Dugan is not going to be found to have had immunity, and I think she's going to have to face trial. Now I'm going to tell you why. Because saying that she had immunity is just too far-reaching of a decision. Look, the only way that she will be found to have had immunity is if there's some kind of very narrowly tailored decision, and I just don't know how narrow you can make it. So I think that setting her up for immunity will be too far-reaching and too explosive of a precedent, and I don't think it's going to happen. So now I want y'all to let me know, what do you think? Do you think Judge Dugan is above the law?
Nope, she's guilty as an
Let me know down in the comments, but before you do, please stop, hit the share button, share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook.